to another in our series of public events here in the Kentwood, Crystal Hall room of the Kentwood. I still think it's the Kentwood Hotel. It's Kentwood.
Yeah.
I think it's the Kentwood Hotel, built in 1926 by John T. Woodard. My name is Tom Peters. I'm the Dean of Library Services, as you can in the camera. And it's my pleasure to introduce tonight's trio, I guess. Byron Biggers Band, David Harrison, who is the current Poet Laureate of Missouri, and Chris Craig, and Gale Clithero. And I think Chris wrote this copy. He said they will perform selections of David's children's classic poems that have been arranged and set to high-energy acoustic rock. Such as,
You must have written it, I didn't.
Such as, and he knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So he'll be asking for that. We'll have his big lighter out, you know.
I've got mine.
So please join me in welcoming Byron Biggers Band.
Over here for Mike. Okay, is this the one I'm using? Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us this opportunity to play and show off a little bit. And I was given this chance to talk for a while, so I'm still getting used to the idea of being the Poet Laureate of the state of Missouri. It's an honor that I never thought about getting. And it goes for 2 years from this past July until the end of June of 2025. So I'm having fun with it. It's taking up a good deal of my time, but that's okay. I signed on to do this. One of the things that a new Poet Laureate from Missouri is asked to do is write a poem about Missouri. So since I have you as a captive audience, you don't have to like it, but you have to listen to it. So here is my poem about Missouri. I read this for the first time in public at Drury University not long ago, where the school was celebrating its 150th anniversary. That's what this year is. And on the 11th of May, I will be reciting a new poem that I wrote for this 2024 graduating class at Drury. So I get to go back and speak again. So I'm also Poet Laureate for Drury University. Missouri. They asked a child, "Why do you like Missouri?" The child answered, "I live here. My friends live here. I love Missouri. It's my home." It was a good answer. They asked a student, "Why do you like Missouri?" The student answered, "In school I learned the first people canoed Missouri waters, cupped their hands at the springs, drew bows in deer-hide grass, lived well off the land." The teacher said explorers came, wagons followed, packed with Bibles, fiddles, cooking pots. Folks built cabins, churches, schools, outposts, the seeds of towns. The farmer, voice soft as tilled soil, said Missouri is dogwood trees, front porches, barns, lakes. It's rows of corn whispering in the river-rich earth, cows in rolling pastures, frogs at night singing in the moon. The business person said, Missouri is the heartbeat of many nations, the confluence of culture, sharing vision, growing together. The writer said its original thinkers, Truman, Carver, Benton, Twain, its serious fishermen, rabid fans, they showed me Spain, Missouri. They asked an older person, why do you like Missouri? The older person answered, I live here. My friends live here. I love Missouri. It's my home. It was a very good answer. Thank you very much. Some time ago, I became acquainted with the Legends Project and the opportunity to perhaps have a book or two of mine produced in Braille. And I was deeply flattered to be asked, thrilled with the opportunity that had presented itself. Because books have always been such an important part of my life, as I'm sure everybody here can say that, but when I was a little boy here, I was 4.5 years old in Springfield, and an uncle begged my mother that she couldn't teach me the Gettysburg Address. So she got a book that had in it Abraham Lincoln's address, and she taught me how to memorize and say that speech. She made an Uncle Sam costume, put me in, and I stood on the stage at Grace Methodist Church, where I would one day get married to my wife, Sandy. And I recited the Gettysburg Address. Then we moved to Arizona when I was 6 months later. And in Arizona, we lived in a little town called Ajo, down toward Mexico. And a lot of sky. At night you'd see stars. And I loved the whole idea of the West. And I decided when I was maybe 6 and 7, I wanted to become an astronomer. So my mother took me to the library, and I brought home books on astronomy. They weren't books for kids, they were books on astronomy. I had no earthly idea what 90% of the words were, but I was utterly fascinated by the concepts as far as I could understand them. The size of the universe, the age, the speed, that we were turning and twisting and flying through the air in 3 different directions or so. Incredible amounts of time had gone by. And I soaked all that in from the books that I had an opportunity to read or to try to read. We moved back home here to Springfield when I was in 3rd grade. I joined a 4-H club, and everybody had to choose a project. I chose to raise a baby pig. My dad said, you can't raise a baby pig. We don't live on a farm. Well, okay then. I went back to the list of possibilities and I chose insects. And once I became serious about collecting insects, my collection grew. By the way, I still have 3 4-foot by 2-foot glassed-in cases in my pantry. In my utility room. I'm 87. I was catching those things when I was 8 or 9 or 10. If you think I look bad, you ought to look at my butterflies. meantime, Sandy, whom I wouldn't meet for another several years, lived around the corner from the library, and she would go every week and go home with an armful of books. So when the good people from the Legends Project asked me if I would be interested in having some of my work in Braille, that's all I could think about was I had easy access to knowledge, to books, from the time I couldn't even read. But not everybody is quite that fortunate. There are people who have a hard time finding all the literature they need. Even with today's modern improvements, it's still not easy. And I think of all the books that are out there that a lot of kids can't read unless somebody reads them to them. And sometimes I know that's what happens, and sometimes maybe not. So I told Frank that I would choose 10 of my books. And it costs money, of course, to do this. It takes time to raise the money. So who knows where this is headed, but I'm just so delighted with the possibility that one or more of my books might actually make this transition, because I want to think about kids who might not otherwise have heard some of what I have to offer. And maybe that sounds egotistical, maybe it is, but still, if I'm lucky enough to have a book published, I want everybody possible to be able to access it. So I don't want to take a lot of time. I brought these books so you can take a look at them to see what we're talking about. But I would like to read a poem or two from 2 or 3 of them, if that's okay. And when I get a high sign from somebody to sit down, I will do that. I've been married a long time. Sorry. This one is from A Place to Start a Family. And this was published not so long ago by a company called Charles Bridge. And I'll read one poem from it. This is about the European wasp, a paper wasp. Winged warriors, warm with spear, concealed in rear, stay clear. Create paper to form a shell where young can dwell within each cell. Work hard, feeding grubs, heavy loads of beetles and bugs. Hide their nest in shrub or tree. If you should see, let it be. This one was published by the same company, actually Charles Bridge again, the same artist, Giles LaRoche, who's a tremendous, very, very gifted artist, called Now You See Them, Now You Don't, and it's about how animals use their natural camouflage when they're hunting or being hunted. This is the copperhead. I'm determined to hit this microphone. So, in this poem, the copperhead has its eye on a vole, a little mouse-like character who lives in the wild, and apparently is on copperhead's diet. Dear Mr. Vole, find me if you can. My skin deceives, helps me disappear among these leaves. Find me if you can on dappled stones, lounging by this pile of tiny bones. Find me if you can atop this ledge, a broken stick, a branch along this edge. Find me if you can, for if you don't, I'll be here tomorrow. You won't. If you kids can imagine going to a school for bugs, that's what this book is about. Crawley School for Bugs. If you've ever wondered how a mosquito gets that way, well, it goes to school. And so do horseflies. Horseflies are just nasty flies. They've got a bad temper and a terrible disposition. And so I wrote this poem about a horsefly, a grade car. Doesn't play well with others. In my heart, I know, of course, it isn't nice to bite a horse. They tried to teach me gentleness, but after school, as you can guess, even though I feel remorse, I must go out and bite a horse. No, they're not all very long. I'll read one more and then we'll get to the good part, Byron Biggers Band. By the way, my shortest poem is 9 words long. It's called A Tick's Friends. It's in a different book. A tick has no friends, therefore my story ends.
That could go on a t-shirt.
Yeah, good. Dave, you went all the way to Florida and spent the whole week on that one.
Okay, here's the last one. So you won't hear the mic go bump anymore. This is a book about dirt. I never thought I'd write a dirty book, but I did. And it's about the creatures that live under our feet. When we walk across the yard, be careful how you walk. You might step on somebody's head down there. So after you've read, the poems, the last poem goes like this. And now we know. Beneath our feet, beneath our sight, below the roots where green grass grows, there's more to dirt than we'd suppose. In places black as night, creatures slither, wriggle, creep, nurse their babies, snuggle, sleep. There's more to dirt than we'd suppose. Quiet things in hidden holes burrow down where secrets lie. There's more to dirt than meets the eye. From centipedes to mousy voles, they come and go without a sound. Seek their safety underground. There's more to dirt than meets the eye. Creatures large and small retreat, where boulders rest and tree roots drink. There's more to dirt than we might think. So many lies beneath our feet, so much to learn, so much to know. And now we've learned a lot, although there's more to dirt than we might think. Thanks for listening. Some time ago, I was in the Barnes & Noble here reading, and so was Chris Craig. He was there. As I recall, I think you were there playing and had just finished and maybe still there when I spoke. afterwards, Chris, who's a dear, very old friend of mine, asked me if I thought it'd be okay if he took some of my poems and set them to music. And I said, sure, I'd be tickled to death. You know, I was an old musician myself, and which is probably why some of my poems do have the lyrical quality to them. And so I gave Chris some of my poems. He chose the ones that he thought would be kind of fun to arrange. He did. And the name of one of the poems, the character in one of the poems, was Byron Biggers. Thus the name Byron Biggers Band. And we'll play that number for you. I think we have 9. It takes about 4 hours. So. I'm going to go over here. And I'm not quite sure what I do in this band because the talent is already in place. But they tolerate me, and they're very nice to old people. So I'll go over here. Okay, I'm here. What do you want to do?
Well, let's do the first one, Dave.
Okay, I'm going to sit down because
Yeah, that's fine.
I have paper to shuffle.
You're okay. That's good.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys had a good idea. Okay, so the first one is one called The Trouble with My House. So we're going to do that one?
Yeah, why don't you give it a read and then we'll join in right under you.
Okay, can you hear me all right?
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't any windows and I haven't any doors. I haven't any ceilings and I haven't any floors. I can't see mine. I haven't got an attic and I haven't any halls. I haven't got a basement and I haven't any walls. I haven't got a basement, I haven't any walls, I haven't got a roof, and that's the reason, I suppose, why rain keeps dripping off my head and falling on my nose.
Yes, we're going to do the song now in true form. So when you think about David, you need to think about the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. And so this is in classic form.
It's about our namesake, Byron Biggers. And he was a good sort, very brave, as you'll hear, but probably didn't use the best judgment all the time. So So here we go, a sad tale.
Well, there lies the bones of Byron Biggers, eaten alive by hungry chiggers. And if you see poor Byron twitch, scratch his bones, 'cause they still
Nothing frightened Byron Biggers, not even lions, not even tigers. He spent his life exploring this land, knew these hills like the back of his hand, striding down the path he came, always looking for bigger game. But in the end, he met his match in a lowly Ozarks chicken patch. Byron laughed, ha ha, cried he, no bug could be the death of me. But halfway through that patch of chiggers, and it was over for Byron Biggers. He clawed those bites till his dying breath, sighing, I scratched myself to death. Someday you'll find me here alone, with my chiggers gnawing on my bone.
Well, there lies the bones of Byron Biggers, eaten alive by hungry chiggers. And if you see poor Byron twitch, scratch his bones, 'cause they still
What I love about this is that I didn't write any of this to be put to music. It's just another example of what you can do with poetry, because it works both ways. So many songs are poems and can be read quite convincingly as a poem, and it works both ways. So I like to mention that to kids too, I mean, in schools. Well, this one is something that a lot of young people can relate to if they're in a band or an orchestra and they have to practice. I had a trombone when I was 10 years old, and I had to practice. And as it turns out, I liked to practice, and I became pretty good at it. But still, the idea there of practice is a good one to pick on. So this is practice. Since Mama bought this stupid horn, I hate the day that I was born. 'Cause nothing makes me more forlorn than practice, practice, practice. Other guys are playing ball, but Mama doesn't care at all. She's going to drive me up the wall with practice, practice, practice. I deserve to go to jail for murdering this B-flat scale and sounding like a dying whale. Why practice, practice, practice? I tried to tell her I'm not bright, so I could practice half the night forever and I'd get it right. Why practice, practice, practice? But nothing helps, not even tears. I'm doomed to play this horn for years with Mama yelling in my ears, practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. said a while ago that I don't write these poems with a song in mind, but guys, Gale, Chris, I need to tell you, this is an exception. I call this love.
You're not going to sing it, are you?
Heck yeah, I wrote a baby song. It's a love song, and it's about a bug. And I'll read it, I'll sing it for you, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Okay. Said the green-eyed beetle to his honey-doodle bug, you're sweeter than a rose, and I want a little hug. So they hugged and they giggled a little later on. They had 1,000 kids called green-eyed beetle and honey-doodle bug, and they all lived together in a snug little bug.
Oh, my goodness. Dave, listen, I've got to tell you, I wish I was on the road with you more, because, see, I could kind of help you with this
There's
one.
nothing wrong.
No, listen, you are my favorite person in the whole world. I've been with you forever, and you've done wonderful things.
Yeah.
But I really think we need to hip this one up just a little bit, make it a little bit more. Have you ever heard of Herman and the Hermits?
No.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a little bit more hip. It's kind of like, I'm thinking something like, maybe guys in the audience can help me with that, with the snap.
That doesn't work.
No, it will work, Dave. You'll work with me on this. So you got the groove? You hear it going? All right, here we go. Let's go.
That's a fact. We knew that for a long time. And there's a man up there too, you see him smiling at us sometimes. So I wrote this with him in mind, and I was concerned about his diet. So the man on the moon.
Yeah, so this one's kind of think of, we've talked about Dave in relation to the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. We've talked about him in relation to Herman and the Hermits. I think one of those songs was kind of like Beyonce, sort of, maybe. You know, that practice one.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, it's kind of like, her new album's kind of that way. But so this one's a little bit, so when you think of Dave, you also need to think about Tom Petty. I do, anyway, whenever I think of Dave. So anyway, this is a weird song because we came up with this vocal line called Ba-oo. So I need everyone to say Ba-oo. Ba-oo. So I really need help with it. I'm going to get it started, and you follow Gale and I with the ba-oos, which really has nothing to do with the song at all. It's just totally, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well,
Here we go. Ba-oo, ba-oo.
well, the man on the moon is nothing but cheese, nothing but cheese to eat. And often he cries in a cheddar sky and loves the southern tree.
Ba-oo, ba-oo.
I dream of chicken salad, he said, with slices of fresh cold meat. And I yearn for yams or sugar-cured hams or anything gooey.
Ba-oo, ba-oo.
But the man on the moon has nothing but cheese, so cheese is all he eats. But oh, how he wishes for tastier dishes like salad and veggies and meat.
Ba-oo. Is this good, guys? Ba-oo. One more time. There's some good ba-oos out there.
Oh,
I mean, it
yeah.
was amazing.
I mean, we've played this thing, what, 250 times?
But I've never heard a single ba-oo like that.
I'm glad we're recording this.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but when we invite company over, it seems like we have to do everything but paint the house to get ready for it. And so that was the inspiration for this company's coming.
This one, think of Dave, when I was younger, I think of Garth Brooks. So here we are, moving along. Well, company's coming, yeah, it's coming for us.
What a mess, a total wreck, they're nearly here. All hands on deck, clear the table, grab the shoes, make the beds, no time to lose. Cram the closets, slam the doors, hang the jackets, mop the floors, shove those socks and underwear and magazines beneath the chair.
Well, the money is coming. Oh, it's coming for us all.
Faster, faster, not enough. Make it, shake it, wipe the stuff. Some nights of factories on its plate. Pray that they are running late. Then cut, slice the cheese, put out the cat. Someone check that thermostat. Change the soap and wipe the tile. We're all sweaty.
Ding dong.
Smile.
I just wondering how you listen to that thing.
Well, I don't know. I just got it caught up in the whole.
Well, yeah.
Okay, here's too bad this isn't Monday to fit right in with the theme here, but Monday is favorite day to pick on. And this was in a book some 30 years ago, 31 years ago. But it still gets around. So I sent this to Chris more recently and he liked it. So here we go, Monday.
Again, when you think of Dave, think of B.B. King. Here it is, just we have these different things. Okay.
Overslept, rain is pouring, missed the bus, cab is roaring, late from school, forgot my spelling, so wet, clothes are smelling.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday.
My books got the money. Once a test. Teacher said I must do better. Lost my money. Tore my sweat.
Yeah, because it's Monday.
Feeling dumber. Feeling glummer. Monday. Sure can be
Yeah, because it's Monday. It's Monday.
For those of you who are keeping score, we have 2 more to go. If you need a potty break, we can stop. This is Earthworm. It's a little bit menacing. I didn't really know it when I wrote it. I'll leave it to Chris to find the
You better,
possibility.
you're going to read it first, so you totally appreciate what we're talking about here, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Earthworm. Earthworm squiggles. Earthworm squirms. Earthworm dines on dirt and germs. Earthworm dodges. Earthworm weaves. Earthworm nibbles dead wet leaves. Earthworm crawls. Earthworm creeps. Earthworm tumbles, but rarely sleeps.
Earthworm squiggles, earthworm squirms, earthworm dies on dirt and germs, earthworm dodges, earthworm weaves, earthworm nibbles on dead wet weeds, earthworm crawls, earthworm creeps, earthworm tunnels, but red sleeps. Talking earthworm, 2 Gale. Talking earthworm, 3 days. Talking earthworm, 4.
We did a CD of these things a few months ago. Went over to the MSU and did it right. And we practiced and we had the right miking and everything. And we have, I think we have, our total production, I believe, is 4 CDs. One for each of us.
And they're in my drawer at Hill Hall,
Yeah.
and I'm still working on them over there.
So we wouldn't go so far as to call it a runaway bestseller yet.
Tom's got one, he has one
Well,
now.
we think we have possibility. Okay, so here's the last one. And
You start this.
it's called Eyes. And a lot of young people and a lot of husbands will give testimony that this is absolutely true.
Ready?
Yep. Teacher has eyes in the back of her head. She looks at the board and sees me instead. She calls my name, my face turns red. The teacher has eyes in the back of her head. Principal has eyes in the back of her head. She looks the other way and sees me instead. She calls my name, my face turns red. The principal has eyes in the back of her head. Mama has eyes in the back of her head. She looks at a book, sees me instead. She calls my name, my face turns red. Mama has eyes in the back of her head. Papa has eyes in the back of his head. Looks at the paper and sees me instead. He calls my name, my face turns red. Papa has eyes in the back of his head. I wish I had eyes in the back of my head. Maybe I could stay out of trouble instead of walking all around with my face so red. I wish I had eyes in the back of my head.
I wish I had eyes in the back of my head. Yeah, the teacher has eyes in the back of her head. The teacher has eyes in the back of her head. The teacher has eyes in the back of her head.
Tom, I guess we can.
We need to hand it over
Yeah.
to Frank now, if we can. Tom, do you want to just hand it over to him, or?
Sure,
Okay.
so, Frank Taylor's here, and he is the founder, the fearless leader supporting local authors by helping to provide access and increase access to their books in Braille and other materials as part of the collections in schools and public libraries, and even academic.
Cool.
Yeah, Frank, over to you.
Thank you, Ron. I'm not going to use the mic because I told I talk too loud as it is. And first of all, I don't know about you guys, but this is the most incredible thing. And I've done some incredible things in my life, but I absolutely think this is top of the list right now. So thank you, David. Thank you, Chris, for doing this. This is amazing. I have to say thank you to Chris because he is with us at the Legends Project. And like Tom said, we are a nonprofit that right now, our mission statement is to promote Braille literacy through social change. No, we're not going to chain ourselves to the walls or burn down anything, but we are going to make a lot of dust and let people take aware of what's going on out there when it comes to Braille and Braille literacy. Right now, in this country, actually anywhere in the world, the fastest growing population of individuals losing their eyesight are age 60 and over. And we're talking right now in the state of Missouri, there are over 151,000 blind or severely visually impaired individuals. Those numbers, experts around the world are saying those numbers are going to double in the next 3 to 5 years and quadruple in the next 10 years. The numbers are outstanding. The baby boomer generation is making its mark, and not in a good way. So at the Legends Project, and thank you, Tom, but no, I'm not really the founder. That's Mary Weber over here. Mary is with Mary's Braille. She's been a Braille transcriber for almost 20 years. And so she and I and our daughter Emily really created this, and we just happened to be blessed enough to run across people like Chris and Craig to help us with this and to get us going in the right direction. Yes, what we are doing right now is we are contacting local authors throughout Missouri, and we're asking to take their books. We'll take and raise the money, nickels and dimes and pennies sometimes. Oh, ironic, I should write that. To raise the funds to produce these books into Braille. And then we're going to see that they are in local libraries across the state, because right now, of over 300 libraries in the state of Missouri, less than 10% have Braille material on hand at those libraries. If somebody wants a Braille book, they have to contact the Wolfner Library in Jefferson City, who has to contact the Library of Congress to get those books, and sometimes they don't even get the book they wanted, and sometimes they even get forgotten about. So we feel like that part of that social change is that everybody has the right to go into their local library, pull any book off the shelf, sit down and read it, especially Braille books. So when we found out that David Harrison had written a couple of books, just a couple, then we decided we were going to approach him, and it has been an amazing relationship to be able to have, and an honor that you cannot imagine, to be able to take books that have been written locally by someone of his caliber that are known worldwide that haven't been in Braille. And so he gave us permission, and with the help of Dr. Craig and a few others, and a lot of people that, like I said, gave their nickels and dimes. We have a special presentation that I would like to have Mary come up here. David, if you would come over here, please. Tom, would you step forward, please? And I'm going to let Mary do something very special that you've probably been waiting for.
I know I'm going to try to get through this without crying, because I always do.
I do too.
I am so privileged to be able to Braille, and I will get all of the books that he has written, over 140 books, into all of the libraries. Right now, though, Rum Pum Pum is the first book that I have gotten done, and I would like you to present that to Missouri State, to all teachers. And if you
This is what it's all about, is getting books out to the libraries, and we want Missouri State University to have the first copy. David, we will make sure that gets into the 300 libraries in the state of Missouri and beyond. Because this doesn't stop at the borders, folks. We are already in works. Mary has done a couple of books and donated to Wichita State University. My alma mater, sorry.
As well as Wichita Public Libraries.
So we are already starting to go across the border into Kansas as well. Our goal is to have these books in libraries across the United States, because there is a whole generation of people that have not read your books because they have not been in line. No, they're not. And not only that, like I said, there are so many seniors that are losing their eyesight. We work a lot with veterans as well, and I have come across veterans that want to learn how to read Braille so that they can read with their grandkids again. And we want them to have your books available to read with their grandkids. So thank you from the bottom of our heart for what you've done for us. We appreciate it. Tom, for what you have, and we appreciate Missouri State for putting this on. This is a great honor. This is just the start. So we're glad to be able to finally get one to you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We didn't know what was going to happen. Okay. So what happened? We always try to surprise the presenter.
Well, I'm surprised.
Chris is a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
I think that concludes our program this evening, correct? So I want to thank everybody for attending tonight.